I mean, to me, dude, success is just waking up doing what you love. And fortunately enough for me, that two things that I love is just like creating content and riding bikes. For me, this is me living the dream. I'm never going plumbing again, like ever. Like I even like physically threw my fluoros out. I'm like, this is it, dude. Like before you know it, like, dude, I have billboards on the Gold Coast. I have bicycle shop fronts over in Japan, like some pretty crazy things just sort of snowballed in like that next few years. And it was such a perfect example of just like everything happens for a reason. For me, a goal is just putting out quality content, like content that I'm proud of. And like however that is, whether it's going away doing like big bike trips or video projects or bike builds or my educational sort of stuff, helping other riders market themselves. Like it's sort of, to me, I don't really have a set goal. I just want to make sure that what I'm doing, I'm like head over heels about. Like whatever it is that wakes up and ticks your boxes, like get after it.
Today's guest is someone who's built a name for himself in a really niche space. John Prutti is a moto rider who's turned his passion for riding dirt bikes into real opportunities through content creation and brand partnerships. In this conversation, we talk about how he went from simply riding for the love of it to understanding the business side of building a personal brand, and why he's now focused on helping other riders do the same through his Moto Marketing Masterclass. If you've ever wondered how to turn something you love into something that can open doors, then this episode's for you. So let's get into it. I was looking through your work and your page, and I was trying to be like, what's this guy about? How would you describe him to someone else? And then I went on, I think it was your website, and all you've got in like these big letters, you just got 3 lines: 28 million views, 200K plus followers, 100% living my dream life every day. And I'm like, that's this dude. Like, really, you watch your content, I'm like, that's exactly what this guy's doing.
For sure.
And you found a way to do it, which is epic.
Yeah, it's a grind, but for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's not easy to get to this point. Like, it looks fun and it's cool.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that do like really cool things for a living, and they just don't know how to turn it into a brand or promote it or promote themselves. Yeah. Which is something that you help people do as well. Yeah. And that's why I thought you'd be like the perfect guest to talk about all this stuff. Yeah, perfect. So obviously dirt bike riding, that's like...
That's my thing.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But you've combined it with creativity.
Yeah.
And that's like your other passion.
Yeah. It's basically, dude, like... and for me, like, it was so funny. I remember being a kid and thinking about, I remember being at school and I was like so quiet in school, and like I was so different to how I am now, like within myself and everything. And it was so funny. Like, I just remember being like, I just wish people knew like the things that I would do like on the weekend and stuff. And then like 10, 15 years later, here's social media, and it's like you can just do that. And so for me, it's just been like a thought of my mind forever. And it's like, man, I've always loved dirt bikes and 2 wheels, and I've always like thought about like content creation and just like being able to film things in different ways, especially like when action cameras sort of first started coming out. I'm like, how can I do this? And then it was always scary, like to get a camera, because I'm like, man, that's like a big investment. Yeah. Even for like baseline ones, I'm like, of course, a couple grand. I'm like, oh, dude. Yeah. And then ended up getting one, and then, dude, just, things have just snowballed into just 2 things I absolutely love, and social media's just given me a platform to be able to just like show the world and like go as hard as I possibly can at my 2 passions. Yeah. And that is now just like, for me, absolute, like for me, this is me living the dream.
Yeah, totally.
So super lucky, like super fortunate, like I've timed everything great, and just been,
the universe has blessed you.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'll get a bit woo-woo too. Like I love that. Like I'm huge on like listening to the universe for signals and things like that. And like I've had to learn them the hard way for sure at times. So yeah. It
looks like you've gone through a lot. But even with what you're doing, there's a lot of people that have hobbies. Yeah. And it stays a hobby. Yeah. Because they can't see it as more than that. Yeah. Was there a point where you were like, shit, I can actually make a living out of this? Or was it a goal from the start?
I think like moto is like a different one, because like content was never really a thing back in the day. Yeah. Or like when I'm talking like coming out of school, like getting a job. Yeah. Like content creation, like if you're a photographer, you're a bit of a quirky person. Or that's how I felt back then, Like even I remember in college, it was like photography classes you could do, and I'm like, dude, like I was interested, and like deep down I wish I did it now. Yep. And like it was something that I was actually interested in and should have done it, but I was like, oh no, that's like quirky people or something. Totally. I just put a perception up. I'm like, oh, that's not me. And then just the more time I spent around cameras, the more I loved it. Yep. And I was in a trade, so as soon as I left school, like I went straight into a trade, which was my family's business of plumbing. And I remember, dude, just going to work day after day after day, just being like, I'm wasting time.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. Like, I'm training really hard with racing. I'm ticking all the boxes there. I'm not really killing it. I'm doing okay, but I'm not killing it. I'm not making squillions of dollars. Like, no teams are calling. And then I'm like, dude, I just need another outlet here. I need to be able to do this. Like, I just need to be able to do something else because I know what I'm doing right now just isn't for me.
Yeah.
And, and I've got friends who like are in trades and who are super successful and love it. And to me, I'm like, that's your success. Like, have at it. Like, if you wake, I mean, to me, dude, success is just waking up doing what you love.
Yes.
And fortunately enough for me, the two things that I love is just like creating content and riding bikes.
Yeah.
And I've been able to form that. But, for anyone, dude, it could be being a barista. You know what I mean? You could just love making a coffee and you're like, dude, that's success to me. And I'm like, all the credit to you,
Yes. It takes a lot of self-awareness
100%.
to be able to do that. Some people just settle to, go to a job and not really figure out what are the things that I really want to do.
Yeah.
And have a crack.
Yeah. And I think like the best question you can ask yourself is like, what would I do if just money wasn't a thing? Like, what would I wake up and do if just like money didn't exist?
Yeah.
And I think that's like, you're going to find your answer right there.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is that wakes up and ticks your boxes, like get after it. And I think right now, like with social media and content creation, like, dude, people are making a killing doing anything and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like the perfect time if you want to like step out of your comfort zone, and that's the biggest part and that's the hardest part is stepping out of your comfort zone.
You're absolutely right, especially today. Like, you've got all the resources. Like anything you want to learn, it's there.
Yeah.
Like there is someone willing to teach you everything that you need to know, and the only missing piece is like putting it to action, like doing the thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Whereas like back in the day, we didn't have that. Like I was talking to you earlier, I had this older guy his name's Tim Horgans. He's been doing this for 30 years. 30 years ago, it didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like if he wanted to, there was only, you could only be the cameraman for Channel 9.
Yeah, that's it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Whereas like now, it's like we almost don't realize it. It's like anyone, your barrier to entry to just start doing this is zero. Like people are doing it with their phone.
Yeah.
And creating opportunities for themselves.
Yeah. And we're in a world right now where the algorithm like rewards that. Because they're just trying to get creatives in there. They're just trying to get people on these platforms.
Yep.
So they're doing that by rewarding people who just use their phone.
Yep.
And credit to them. Like you can see why that works. But like as a creative and as someone like myself, and I think you're the exact same, like you like putting in time, putting in effort and posting something you're proud of.
Yeah.
But the algorithm dude, just doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like you put up something polished.
Yeah, true.
But then you put up an iPhone of us doing this exact same thing and you just
kills.
like, and you're like, what the hell? But it's just part of it, man.
Yeah,
it's
you're
just
right.
the world we live in right now, and that's what they're pushing. And I think Instagram in the early days, like you'd take a nice photo and it wasn't all about algorithms, it was about people like that photo.
Yeah,
so it
aesthetic.
went really well. Yeah. And then now it's just like taking a full flip.
True. And then, so when you're in plumbing, is there a plan? Do you create a plan to get out of there, or?
No, dude. And it's so funny how it all sort of worked. And I briefly mentioned sort of getting woo-woo and like listening to the universe. But and for years this went on. Like I would go to work, I'm like, I'm wasting time. I don't know what's going on. And like and it was just my gut. And I just wasn't listening to it, dude. And it went on for ages and ages. And then I ended up getting a ride for a team, which had been like a dream of mine forever. So got a team ride, I was racing for them. And then, pardon me, halfway through that season, I'm just like, I hate this. Like, I'm so unhappy. Like, this isn't it. And at this time, I had done like a couple photo shoots sort of on the side, just like little things for like friends and things like that. And like probably barely made any money doing it. But I was enjoying it and I was learning. And then, dude, all of a sudden I had a massive injury, which like put me out for, like I wasn't walking, like, dude, I hyperextended both my knees backwards, like broke both my legs. Like they overdosed me in the amber, like my heart stopped. Like it was like 2 multi-ligament knee reconstructions. Like I was left with drop foot, like,
oh my God.
Yeah, 3 major surgeries. Anyway, super gnarly. But throughout that, what I had was the realization, I'm like, dude, if I died then, I went about every single day just knowing that I wasn't where I should have been. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, that accident didn't happen to me. That accident happened for me. Yeah. And in that time, I'm like, all right, I'm just going all in. And like, I had to sit my parents down. And like, I'm in my, would have been, late 20s at this point. And I'm just like, I'm never going plumbing again, like ever. Like I even like physically threw my fluoros out. I'm like, this is it, dude. Like I will die before I go back just to something that wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, all right. And then at that time, I just really started pushing the content creation. And then before you know it, like, dude, I have like billboards on the Gold Coast. I have bicycle shop fronts over in Japan, like some pretty crazy things just sort of snowballed in like that next few years. And it was such a perfect example of just like everything happens for a reason.
Wow.
You know, so I could have sat there and been a victim of it, or I grabbed it by the balls and was like, all right, like I know that being in a trade just isn't for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, all right, I'm going all in, and I love cameras, I love filming, and this is a great thing that I can learn while I'm literally sitting here with both my legs pinned straight. And basically, dude, just went all in and started doing a bunch of shoots for super cheap, if not free, just to get my foot in the door and just like sort of earn my stripes. And then a couple of years later, really started to push like social media videos, because at that time, this is like early 2020, sort of like videos are really starting to pop off. And I was like, and like still to this day, I much prefer taking photos. Like I love capturing a moment, but as far as like telling a story and what brands and businesses want, they just needed video. So dude, I just went all in and started looking up everything I could, and thank God for YouTube University.
Yep.
You know, and just like sort of went all in.
Totally.
Yeah. And then so that was like so for me, that was a massive turning point. And it was like, for me, it was a life-changing event that was like, yes, super gnarly and like a lot to take in. But I look back now and I'm like, that was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy how you hear that so much. Like you have to go through these experiences. Like
You
that doesn't happen to you.
Yeah.
You could still be
100%. Yeah, and I probably still would, you know, and like at the time, like I was working on a trick that was like a world's first. So I was like, all right, my writing, when I land this, like my writing's going to take off. And I think that was just the universe being like, hey, dude, that's not your path.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, all right, we're going to pull you out of the trade and you're not going to do tricks that gnarly, but we can do some cool free ride video projects and you're going to be an awesome filmer. You know, and I was like, all right,
that's
like,
the trade. That's the trade.
Yeah, 100%. And then, so for me, dude, like looking back now, I'm just like, yep, sick. And like, so now I'm a lot more conscious to be like, okay, if my gut's telling me something, or if I feel like the universe is like pointing me in a direction, I'll just try and lean in a little bit earlier.
Insane. And at that time, when you're making this change, how much support do you get from Big Ronnie?
Oh, well, dude, not a heap, to be honest.
Not a lot?
Yeah. Because it's like, like my folks and that, they're just, you know, they're that older generation where this isn't like a thing. They're not like, they're just like, go get a trade and
security.
Do your job. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like he's a plumber and has been forever and he loves his job and he's great at it.
Yep.
But him and mum both sort of, I think mum was easier to persuade, but he was just like, that doesn't make sense to me. And like even now, like
my folks are the same.
Yeah. And I believe it. And I think a lot of people are. And I think that's why a lot of people in our generation struggle to do it, because they're really worried about the people that they care about the most opinion.
Yeah, totally.
You know, whereas like I think the next generation after us, you know, like say for example our kids, we have kind of seen it to be like, dude, you can actually do whatever you want. We know if you work hard, like you're probably going to figure it out. You know, whereas our parents like, I don't really care if you figure it out. Like just do what you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I think about that too. Like, and then for your situation, he'd be like, mate, I've worked hard to build this, like, for you.
Yeah.
You know, I did this for you. Like, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
With this stupid camera shit that you're doing.
100%.
You know, and it's like, they've worked hard to build something for you. They don't want you to ruin it, throw it away. They want you to feel the security for you. You know, all of this was a dedication of work to set their kids up. This is me speaking from experience through my parents doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, we worked all these jobs we didn't really like, but we did it for you. So, like, do the safe thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's recognizing that and like understanding, and because that's where a lot of people butt heads.
Yes.
But it's like understanding it, but also going for it. And sometimes it is having those hard conversations.
Yeah, and that actually brings me to this awesome video I saw. And I saw this at the time when I was injured, and I just lived by it. And it was Jim Carrey, of all people. He was doing like an award speech or a speech at a university or something like that. And he was talking about how his dad was like a comedian and was super funny, but his dad chose like a safe path instead of going down like the comedian route like Jim did. And that one day Jim comes home from school, I think, and his dad's just like a mess. And he's like, what happened? He's like, I got fired and like let go, and now I don't have a job. And he's just like, the biggest thing I took from that is like, dad failed and could lose everything at the safe option. So he's like, you may as well have a go at what you love.
Yep,
and I was just
totally.
like, dude, that hit home so hard. I'm like, all right, like I'm all in,
Gotta
Jim.
go.
Let's go.
I'm all in, Jim. You got me.
Yeah.
You won me over.
Yeah. So
Damn.
it just goes to show. And I mean, like, that's not for everyone, but I think that was a really cool example to be like, okay, maybe think outside the square because, you know, anything is possible these days.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then when you are starting to go for it, is there a point where you realize that it's working?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's kind of like anything, you know, like you start off with small jobs.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, like if I could work for that client, it'd be amazing for the portfolio, or if I could work over there, or if I could have a billboard or whatever it is. And I just think throughout that few years, like it just sort of snowballed. But I don't think there was ever like one moment I'm like, oh my God, yes. I just think it just like eventually like you sort of, you set a goal and then you make that, and then you get the next goal of like an international client, or you get a next goal of like, all right, I want to shoot worth $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever it is, you know, and then yeah, it's sort of just, but no, I don't think there was ever like one moment that I'm like, oh my God, yes. It just sort of like progressed as time went on.
Yeah, wow. I've felt like that for me too. I've never asked myself the same question, but what I've realized about me is that I'll just like work really hard and not stop until like a year later, and there'll be like a moment or a comment where you stop and you're like, oh shit, I've done so much.
Yeah.
But there was no like real moment. I just kept like one job, then you just take the next job, and you're so just going that you never stop to realize anything until like a year or two goes by, and for you it'd be like, oh shit, I've got a billboard, and I've worked with overseas clients, and
100%. And I think that's how you sort of get success and momentum is by you know, just by never sort of settling. And I think it is really important at times to like stop and smell the roses, and you know, like and appreciate those small wins, because like those small wins are super important and you really need to have them to keep going. But then it's also like, but then you still got to stay hungry too. Like it's it's such a fine line, and how do you know, like, and like what works for everyone is just so hard because everyone works different too. You know.
Yeah, you need a balance. There's so many things that I talk about on this pod, and I'm like, they're both right. It's just having a balance of both.
Yes.
In so many topics, like so many things. It's insane. And that's one of them. And another thing that like I kind of want to bring, because there's a lot of people that start, especially now with so many creatives and it being so easily accessible.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to make a cool video. And when we first start out, we just make cool videos. Until we reach a point where I feel, anyway, this is what's happened for me, and I feel like it's happened for you. There's a point where you realize cool videos aren't enough. I have to be in this. Like I have to show, like the way I'm going to separate myself from everyone else is to actually show my personality, tell my story, because no one can replicate my story. Everyone can replicate my cool videos. And I feel like there was a point where you started doing it, and now you're doing it really well. What made you start doing that? Because actually before that, I found your first YouTube vlog. And
please don't roll any footage.
No, but I really want to note this because you start the video. It's almost like you've made the whole vlog, and then you've decided, no, I need to put like something at the beginning here just to prepare people for what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
And literally the first minute is you saying, this is something I've wanted to do and thought about for a while. So here we are, my first ever vlog. Am I terrified about posting this? 100%. Am I cringing about posting this? 100%. But I feel like it's now or never. That's that point where you realize, shit, this is something I really want to do.
Yep.
Fear's been holding me back, or something's been holding me back. And I know that this is something I need to do if I want to get to where I want to get to.
Yeah.
Like, can you talk us through like that period?
Yeah. So I think your comment earlier about like the Insta bangers and making a cool video is like rings so true to me, because for 2 or 3 years, and especially with these clients that I've had both locally and internationally, it's like, just get as much into 15 seconds as you possibly can. You know what I mean? Like, whether we're selling a product or whether we're showing off an event, whatever it is, just make it sick 15 seconds. Yeah. And I just spent years doing that I got to a point I'm like, oh, I'm just so over it. Yep. Like 15 seconds ain't enough for me.
Yeah, man.
You know, and that's where like
I feel that.
I had a good friend. He recently passed, unfortunately, but he had lent real heavily in on YouTube, and I just love the way that you can tell a story and you can be yourself. And like, yes, I try really hard with like thumbnails and things like that to try and get the people in. But I think the biggest thing there, like you said, it's just like 15 seconds isn't enough. Like,
Yep.
I'm at the point where I'm like, I do have some pretty cool stories and a pretty epic journey here and there that I want people to be part of.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And there is no way that I can do that in 15 seconds.
Yep.
And that's where, like, I wouldn't say I've abandoned Instagram, but I've definitely like heavily lent into YouTube as opposed to Instagram because of that exact reason. It's just like, dude, I want to be able to go to the track, or whether I'm doing something that I'm working on, and I just want to be like 100% vulnerable and be like, oh, I'm like super scared about this, but like, this is how I'm going to approach it, or whatever it is.
Yeah, you are.
And I want to like educate you guys. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm working on and why, and et cetera, et cetera. And I want to like create those communities and like have those relationships with people throughout like the longer form videos.
You're right. And it's hard for someone to get to know who you are really in 15-second videos.
Oh, 100%. And it's so easy to pretend to be something you're not in 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's true
or like
too.
not even pretend to be someone you're not, but just like post all the highlights.
Yep.
And for me, like I'm at the point I'm like, dude, like that's all well and good, but I've seen so much of social media that it's all a sham, really. You know what I mean? Like it's a highlight reel.
Yeah.
And dude, I've been guilty of that as well. I think we all are, to a certain degree. But that's where I think with YouTube, I've been really conscious to being like, all right, I'm going to post my wins, I'm going to post my losses, and I'm going to post the whole journey, because I think that's way more relatable and that's actually what people want to see.
I agree. Totally. And it is, especially for someone that does what you do.
Yeah.
There's highlights everywhere, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very easy to make out like
Easy.
your lifestyle to just look sick.
Yeah. And that's why even lately I've just tried to, even with my Instagram, and like sometimes like I talk about that being cringe and stuff. I'm just like, dude, I'm at the point where like I don't really take advice from anyone that I wouldn't want to be in their shoes.
Very good.
And there's only like a select few people that I really do value their opinion. And if someone wants to talk shit about it on social media, then I'm like, so be it, dude. Like that's a reflection of you, not me.
Exactly.
And you just kind of got to take like that. And it's hard when you get started and are really vulnerable. And on a couple of those early vlogs, I'm like, look, I'm filming out in public. Like I'm nervous as hell. I'm at an airport. Did you?
Yeah, you're at the airport and you were like, I'm whispering.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, I feel like I've seen so many people do this, and I'm like, whatever. I'm like, you know what? I am whispering because I am shitting myself. It's first thing in the morning. I'm at the airport and I'm filming shamelessly.
Yep.
But it's like, this is the journey, and you guys are coming, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yep.
And it's just
that's the things they're the things that you want to show, especially when it comes to who you're trying to reach now.
Yes.
Like you're trying to help creatives.
Yes.
And for them, it's good to see that you've been through the same things that they're probably going through right now too. And when you do show the highlight reel, you're not showing those other things, and it deceives the person, especially the people that look up to you, to think that it's all just highlight reels.
Yes.
So that when they reach obstacles, because they've never seen you go through it, they feel like they're on the wrong path.
Yes.
But by seeing you go through it, they're like, oh, cool, this is part of the process.
I'm okay.
I'm okay with doing it.
Yeah.
No, that's why I think it's important. That's why I think these conversations are important too. You talk to someone for 10, I'm like, what'd you go through? How did it feel like? Because then the guy listening who's going through that exact same situation right now is like, oh, cool, this is part of it. This is part of the plan. A lot of people quit because they're too afraid to be in front of the camera, or they think it's not for me.
Yes.
I used to think the same thing. I was like, oh, no, that's not for me, man.
Yeah.
But then you talk to people who was like, no, man, I was in that situation. I felt the same way you felt, and look at me now. You just got to get over it.
Yeah. And we even sort of spoke about that before, just like talking into a camera.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
so hard
dude,
to do
honestly,
at the
12
start.
months ago, like I could do it, but I'd sort of be like looking around and I wouldn't know where to look. And then now it's just like through just reps. It's just, it's like in the gym, you know, you just stack your reps. And for me, I just stacked a lot of reps through doing the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, now like if there's a camera in front of me, I'm like, oh yeah, cool, there's a camera in front of me. But before I used to be like, oh my God, who's on the other side? You know what I mean? Whereas like now it's like, oh dude, just whatever. Yeah. And it's like anything, you just got to stack the reps.
Yes. And that's how you get better.
100%.
That's how you get.
There is no shortcut.
Exactly. But like I had this exact same conversation. Like you feel like you suck because you're thinking of the camera and you're thinking of all those other things. So it doesn't give you room to be yourself.
Yeah.
So when you look back at it, you don't like what you see.
Yes.
But by doing the reps, you stop thinking about the cameras. You stop and then that frees up space for you to be you.
Yeah.
But you don't get to that point unless you do the reps and you reach that point. So you are going to get better once you stop overthinking about everything else, because it gives you room to just be you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
100%. Yeah.
I think it's true. And you spoke about the injury that you had earlier.
Yeah.
In this vlog that I saw, I watched you dislocate both your elbows at the same time. Crazy. And it was filmed. Someone was there filming it.
Yeah, so unheard of. It's such a rare injury.
I could not believe what I was watching. Both your elbows were sticking out of your arm, and these two dudes were pushing your elbows back in.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so hard to watch.
Yeah, you're telling me. Dude, and the craziest thing is, so this is a wild story.
Yeah.
I saw a sponsor of mine, Random Goggles, which is like a goggle brand, a Canadian goggle brand. One of my good friends, he actually founded it. And he's like, all right, dude, we want to go to Utah and do a video project there. Like, we want to release the goggles with you and me. Like, he's a mountain bike rider himself. Shout out to Bass. And he's like, all right, come over, like, fly into California, like, go do a day or two riding there. I had a bike in California, so I go back and forth to California heaps.
Yep.
And so I have a bike in California. I fly over there. I grab my bike. And it must have been the next morning. I was like, all right, I'm going to go for a ride, just like make sure everything's sweet. And then we're going to go to Utah. Yep. And my buddy's coming. He's driving down from Canada. So we're going to meet and then go out to Utah. And we're going to spend, I think, a month out there filming and digging. Like, it was something I was super excited about. Yep. And it was going to be unreal. And then, dude, sure enough, first day, I just cruise out to a buddy of mine, Twitch's place. And he's just got a ramp set up. Something I've jumped like thousands of times. Never had an issue. Like, sometimes you go long, sometimes you go short, but nothing like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, like I just went long on the first jump of the day. Like I'd got off a plane that night. And then, yeah, dude, sure enough, like both. And like never have I, apart from my other really big injury, never have I like dislocated anything. Like never had shoulders come out, nothing. And then, dude, yeah, both my elbows dislocated.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And it's like,
did you realize while you were in the air, like something was wrong? Or?
Yeah. Like as I took off, I'm like, oh, we're going deep here. But like it was no longer than anything I'd ever done before.
Yeah.
Like you make mistakes and things like that. No, sure. But never in the air was like, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, this is not ideal. Like this is not how I want to start my day. But it's not like, oh no, like I'm in real trouble. And then as soon as I landed, they both popped out and I'm like, I'm riding off and like I just like my hands fall off the handlebars.
Yeah.
And I just like step off the back of the bike and I'm like, I didn't even know you could dislocate your elbows. And I'm standing here. I'm like, what the hell? And it's like,
both of them. Dude.
Yeah, gnarly. And then, sure enough, a buddy there was about 5 or 6 of us riding. And these are all like the best of the best in the world. Like the biggest names in the industry. And one of the dudes there, Whacker, he's like, dude, I've actually seen this. I reckon we should get him back in ASAP. And I'm like,
yeah, push him back in.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, well, I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be worse or better, but look, I trust you because at this point, this is not ideal.
You're so vulnerable. You can't even do anything. You're just there.
Nothing, bro. So he's like, all right, man. So I'm like sort of bent over, like hunched over, and they sort of like plonk them both back in. I'm like, oh, thank God.
And you filmed the thing, man. I saw the guy putting your elbow back in.
Yeah, and then, dude, they go to sit me down, and as I sit down, they both dislocate
back out.
And I'm just like... And at this point, I'm like, oh my God, like the worst.
Oh my God.
And like, oh, the pain, dude, and the feeling. I'm just like,
oh my God, I know.
And then, so fortunately, they got him back in again. And then they just basically like tied me up. I think they had like 2 or 3 hoodies around me. So just like locked me in. And then took me off to a hospital. And then I think 2 days later, dude, I just flew back to Australia. And I called my buddy who was on his way down. I'm like, I FaceTimed him. And I'm like, I'm in 2 slings. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not going to believe it. He's like, I already do. And I'm like, I've just dislocated both elbows.
Man.
And he's like, and super fortunate, like a lot of the guys that I was there with, they do have really great resources with doctors and things like that. So I went and saw a surgeon straight away. He's like, all right, dude, this is what I think you should do. If I'm you, I'm probably just cruising straight back to Australia. Obviously, great medical system here and everything like that. I have private health cover back here. So I was like, all right. So boosted straight home and then, got some great advice. And sure enough, I was healed up pretty quick. It actually wasn't too bad, which was really lucky. There wasn't an operation needed.
Wow.
But yeah, dude, it was just one of those things. And like, I look back now, I'm like, all right, everything happens for a reason. Like, I wasn't meant to be, like, maybe something worse is going to happen in Utah. I don't know. But yeah, dude, like,
you've got to have that attitude, right?
Yeah, you have to, dude. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there and be a victim of it. And I think there are way too many of those people.
Yeah, true. How do you go about like choosing the projects and the people that you work with? Are you pretty specific?
Yeah, I think, dude, you have to. And I've learnt this the hard way. Even earlier last year, I made a silly mistake of going for a paycheck with a brand that I wasn't directly aligned with or didn't really believe in. And yeah, it came up and bit me like 6 months later. They terminated the contract and I was really unhappy as well. And like, that's the first time I've ever had a contract terminated.
Yeah,
but we were both parties like, this isn't it. And it's because I was trying to sell something that wasn't genuinely me. And it was so good because it was such a good learning curve to be like, okay, yes, it's all well and good to have this audience and to be able to leverage it. But if it doesn't align, it doesn't align.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and like I'd always been pretty true as far as like being like, okay, like this is gear that I want to wear. Like, I want to represent them. Like, let's work together because I love you guys and I know I can give you a return on your investment. You know, whether it's through my content, through my audience, or whether it's me attending events.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it was always about like aligning. And on this opportunity just came up. I'm like, oh, wow, this is pretty good. Yeah. And then now I look back, I'm like, all right, sick, you learned that lesson. Don't ever do that again.
Yeah. You know? Sometimes you have to go through it to
100%.
learn, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
I imagine it'd be so hard at the start though. Like when you get that first one, like someone offering you anything, you wouldn't even care. Like most people would just be like, hell yeah.
100%.
And you just take it without really thinking and knowing what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, but I think that even goes into the content world as far as like clientele.
Yeah.
Like you can have a call with a client, or you can send someone a quote, and you can even, feel it. You can feel it straight away. Like just the questions they're asking, I'm like, this could be a bit of a headache.
Yep.
You know, and like there's nothing wrong with like picky clients and people who know what they want. Like I completely respect that.
Yeah.
But there is a line that needs to be drawn somewhere as far as like, I'm not vibing this. Yeah. This isn't me. I'm not going to put my best foot forward here. Yep. I just can't. I shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had that with clients as well. And yeah, sometimes it works out amazing and sometimes it doesn't. And I've learned those lessons to be like, okay, if we align and like, it's a good vibe and it's a great energy, and that's like even while we're here today. You know, like when you reach out, I'm like, this dude seems cool. Like,
totally.
Let's go.
Thank you. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I appreciate that. And I think it is a feeling as well, because same as like this pod, I'm scared of getting any sort of sponsorship. Because I don't want to be told who to have on, what to talk about. You can do this, you can't do that. So I've just been super, like right now, it's just my show, man. You can say whatever you want. I can have on whoever I want, and it's mad. And I can imagine it'd be similar to like you having your YouTube channel. You can be vulnerable. You can do whatever you want. It's your channel, right? Have you ever felt like a sponsor or someone's kind of held you back from creating the way that you want to?
That sponsor in particular. They did. Like they really wanted to dictate what I did and how I said it and things like that. And it was for a decent paycheck, so I understood that. But it got to a point where I'm like, man, like I'm not a walking billboard. Like,
especially when you love being creative.
100%. And I think, like your comment about having like a sponsor for this, it's like, dude, you will find someone who will sponsor you for you. You know, or the pod for the pod. You know, and then you don't need to matter. It's you'll find someone that aligns perfectly. Like, hey, dude, we trust you. You just do you. We just want X, Y, and Z deliverables or reads or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And then you'll be like, this is meant to be. You know, and that's when you'll know. You know, but I think trying to make, you know, a square into a circle, you're just like, don't do it.
Yeah. So it is. So you're saying like you have the trust that there are people out there that are going to trust your
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Never thought of that.
Well, now you have.
Very good.
Learn something new every day, huh?
Very good. So then what are your, from now compared to when you first started, what have your goals looked like? How do you set goals? What are you tracking?
Dude, that's such a good question. I think a lot of what I used to track was numbers. As far as like audience and then paychecks. But now for me, like I'm in a position where it's like...
It changes over time, right?
It 100% changes over time. And like, even when I was driving here today, when I was thinking about it, I was like, you know, what would success be for me like on YouTube? And I'm like, oh, well, I started YouTube a year ago and I had like, I think like 12 months ago, I'd posted a couple videos and I was at like just under 1,000 subs. And like even now, like I'm still small.
How long ago was that? 12 months ago?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, now I think it's just over 13,000.
Wow.
So it's not heaps, but there's a lot of momentum. And like I'm just confident if I keep doing what I'm doing, like I see that at the end of this year, there'll be like 50,000 subs. And then it's like, but I don't want subs to be a goal because I don't want to just be chasing that. What I want to be chasing is just like, I want to just, like for me, a goal is just putting out quality content. Like content that I'm proud of, you know, and like however that is, whether it's going away doing like big bike trips or video projects or bike builds or my educational sort of stuff, helping other riders market themselves, you know, like it's sort of, to me, I don't really have a set goal. I just want to make sure that what I'm doing, I'm like head over heels about.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I feel the same. Recently, I've learned like not to set goals based on things that I can't really control. You know, like subscribers, views. It's cool to get them, but you don't really have control. You don't know whether a video is going to blow up or just, you know,
Same with pods. Exactly.
Same with pods. So for me, I've learned to change direction with like what I'm tracking, and a lot of it's more instead of like the output of my work, it's the input. So it's like how many episodes am I posting, you know, in a month? How many people am I reaching out to? Am I showing up better? Sometimes I just look at like episodes before and I'm like, have I improved? Like, am I asking better questions? Because I have control over that, right?
How much caffeine did I
Yeah, how many coffees did I have that day? I have control over that.
Yeah.
You know, but when you look at those, like you can track those and actually
Yes.
improve and you can make a difference
Yeah.
in what you're doing. Whereas when you rely on views and likes and subscribers,
Yeah.
you don't have much control over that, and
Yeah.
you're leading yourself down a path where you can easily just feel up like you're not doing well.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting
Yeah.
the views and the subs that,
Exactly
that
right.
you're
And then
hoping
you're
for.
obviously comparing yourself to other people, and that's like the
Yeah,
biggest thief
true.
of any joy, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing, like, because you start out and you put your heart and soul into a video, whether it's
Yeah,
a YouTube
man.
or a pod, and it's like, dude, there's 200 people see it, and you're just like,
Yeah, it hurts.
kidding. Yeah, but it's like, but it just doesn't matter, dude, because it's like it's going to be a learning curve, and you're going to look back in 12 months or 2 years and be like, I've improved heaps.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of how much effort I had.
That's
put in.
true. I've had those, some of my earlier ones. And the thing is, in my head, I'm like, I know it's good. Like, I know
Yeah.
there's good shit there. I was like, I was there. I learned so much from this guy,
Yeah,
and no
yeah.
one's watching it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and it's me almost thinking, well, I got something out of it. Like, I know I've learned heaps. I've progressed
Yeah.
so much. I've made so many changes and become better as a creative from the conversations I've had here.
Yeah.
Therefore, in my head, I know it's a good product.
Yeah.
I know if people listen to it, they'll learn and progress just as much as I have.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, it's like some of those early ones that just didn't get the views. I'm like, man, I wish. Sometimes I also just feel like it deserves more because of the guests. Oh man, I get in my head so much because I'm
Yeah.
like, this guest has like come from wherever.
Yeah.
They've put in the time. They've shared so much, and I
Yeah.
want it more for them
Yes. Yeah.
than anything
yeah.
else. Especially at this was like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, ever since I started taking it more seriously,
Yeah.
everything's gotten better.
Yeah,
That's
right.
like one of the biggest
Yes.
lessons I learned last. Like, you take yourself seriously, other people will take you seriously too.
For sure.
And it was very sporadic. I was doing like one whenever I had time.
Yeah.
And that's when those views were shit.
Yeah.
Whereas like now it's like consistent. Every week, no matter what, I'm showing up. I'll go wherever, I'll do whatever. Like, I'll put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
Everything starts to like
Snowball.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
subs are there, the views are there, the guests get better, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, funny.
Yeah,
you actually put in
exactly.
the work, but you focus on yourself.
Yeah.
You focus on what you can do, and everything else comes off the back of that. And I think you're saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's super important. And I think late last year, I sort of made a promise to myself on like YouTube. I was like, I'm posting a video every single week, no matter what.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, and it's like, it's hard because I don't want to. I don't want the quality to take too much of a hit, but it's also like, but I need to create a habit. I need to create a habit of being like, dude, I'm getting a video up no matter what. And I know that throughout creating that habit, that the quality is going to get better because I'm going to get more used to being like, okay, this has to happen. So by Monday, I want it filmed. By Tuesday, I want it edited.
Damn.
Then by Wednesday, I want to do a final polish and then upload it. So then it's going up Sunday. I don't even have to think about it onto the next thing.
You're doing this every week?
Yeah, every
Shit.
week. And like I'm doing I'm doing a bike build series at the moment where like I buy a super cheap bike and like I'm doing it up week after week.
Yep.
And I did that because I want it to be something relatable. So I've built up like some amazing bikes, but they're, you know, $40,000-$50,000 dirt bikes, which people just don't have that spare kind of money. You know what I mean? And I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that through my amazing sponsors and partners.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But I wanted to create a series where it's like, okay, I'm going to be vulnerable and open, but I'm going to take these people on a journey that they can go on themselves, you know, by buying a bike for $2,000. Then I'm like, all right, we're going to do this modification, which is going to take a lot of elbow grease, but bugger all money. You know what I mean? And I'm taking them through that journey, and that's been like a weekly thing now for a couple months. And it's been good because then in between that now I'm like, oh, but I've got this other video which I can post as well. So now like I'm starting to get a bit of a snowball to go, okay, one was going out every few weeks to now at least one a week is going out, and now I'm starting to filter in some more as well. So then before we know it, hopefully like I'm starting to post like 3 times a week, and then I think that's when you can really start to get some momentum. And that's where for me, like my Instagram really blew up when I was posting 2 reels a day every single day. And I did that for 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And it just like, my following just like tripled.
Yeah.
Because a couple of them took off and I was like, game over. And what actually got me to that was I was listening to a podcast where they say 1% of your videos is going to blow up. So I'm like, okay, so if 1% means I need to post at least 100 because one of them will go up. And then, sure enough, a few of them sort of blew up in that couple months.
It's good to think that way because then, like, when they don't perform, you know that it's just one of those.
Yeah. You just
I've got to do 99 of these.
100%. And I think that's what so many people sort of talk about when it comes to, like, they get so down on like their socials not blowing up and things like that. It's like, all right, dude, then just post more. Like, it's just a numbers game. Just post more.
Yeah, you keep hearing that over and over again from the people that have done it. You know.
Yeah.
It's just at volume. Like you just got to keep
Yeah.
it. And then not just volume, because I've seen people do volume and nothing happens.
Yeah.
But it's because they're not making iterations. Like
Exactly.
they're not improving.
Exactly right.
And seeing what works.
Yeah.
You've really got to, figure out what works. What do I enjoy doing paired with what works?
Yes.
And slowly.
Yeah. And if
figure that
something
out.
works, lean in on that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
totally.
Yeah.
And man, I've seen how consistent you are on YouTube, and these videos aren't easy to put together.
No, it is a grind, but I just hope it just sort of get to the point where it's just like, well worth it for me financially. But like at the moment, it's definitely a grind, and it's kind of like I'm starting from ground zero, and like I feel like I know it's going to succeed because I've done it through all my other channels so far.
Yeah.
Like I've got a pretty good TikTok, and like I'd never post on TikTok, but a few things blew up early days.
Yeah.
And then, through like Instagram as well, like I got a decent following through there. And again, it just comes back to just putting in that work ethic. And I think that all stems back to like going back to being a plumber.
Yeah.
And just like, dude, you work your butt off. Like you come home knackered. So if there's sometimes I'm thinking about like, oh, dude, like, do I have to do this video? I'm like, yeah, 100% I do. Because I know 9 out of 10 other people probably won't. And it's like, I just want to outwork them.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty easy to succeed these days because there's so many lazy people.
Yeah. No, it's true.
So for me, I'm like, if I can do it like a minimum video a week is ridiculous. I can do that easy.
Especially like you talking about that, I feel it's a big reason. I've had so many people on here, and I know hundreds of creatives. Not many are on YouTube at all. And then of the ones that are, not many are consistent.
Yeah.
The way that you have been. And I feel like a lot of people want to, but it's just a lot of work.
It is.
And it's not until you do it and I'm someone who has started doing it.
Yes.
And you realize how much work's involved
Yep.
that you just can't be consistent.
Yep.
And I think that's why most people aren't on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because they know that on Instagram you can just put together a quick reel.
15 seconds.
15 seconds. And it's so much easier to be consistent.
Yeah.
So that space on YouTube, like there's a lot of open space there to really stand out for the people that are willing to put it all together and put the work in.
Yeah, 100%. And dude, even just like with the ads and everything like that on YouTube, like it's so much easier to make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've had a couple shorts and stuff blow up, and it's like I get paid $1,000 for a short.
Yeah.
It's like a 10-second video. I'm like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? And it's like I've had other longer form video series that have done like quite well, and you're just like, man, like if you just head down, bum up, like sky's the limit on YouTube, I think. And like, yes, this isn't new news. Like people know this, but it's just like you said, the workload, man, and you just got to go all in, if it's for me, it's something I'm really passionate about, something I really want to do. So I don't mind working hard when it's something that I love.
But it sounds like you've also got like a good system in place. Like you've got particular days where you're doing.
You have to, or for me, I have to.
Yeah.
I think other people run looser programs and other people probably run tighter ships. It's hard because I am on the road a lot and I am sort of all over the world all the time. But I sort of have to set those key goals and just so I can stick to it. So I can hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
So I can be like, why didn't that happen? It's like, you're on a plane. It's like, well, your computer works on a plane.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah, man.
So.
That's so true. I feel like that's what held me back on you, like not having that system and just trying to film whatever I can whenever.
Yep.
There's no real set date to anything.
Yep.
There's no accountability. And then you just get caught up with other work.
Yeah, which is so easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, like there's such a difference between, and we briefly spoke about this before, is being busy and being productive.
Yes.
Like, so every morning when
me,
I wake
man.
up, so like it's so easy to be busy.
Yeah.
Everyone can be busy.
Yes.
But how many people are like that productive? So for me, like I wake up first thing in the morning and I write down like in a journal, like, okay, like the most important things that I have to get done that day. And like I write it down like physically, because whenever I use like an app or anything or notes or a calendar on my phone, it just, for me, it doesn't work. Like I love it because it's there and it's convenient, but it just like means nothing to me. But if I write it down, there's something for me that's like, okay, you have to do this now. Like you wrote this down. You have to do this.
So you write it down. Like, this is what I have to do today.
Yeah.
I'm a bit like that. When I cross off a to-do list.
Yes. Yeah. And I draw a little box, dude, tick it. I'm like, yes. So it could be like, dude, it could be 7 a.m. and like, I've gymmed or ice bathed or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, I've already got one edited out. I'm like, tick, tick, tick. I'm like, shit, I haven't even had breakfast yet, bro. I'm already ticking this, and it's just like, for me, that's important.
Yep.
I need that. Like I need a little pat on the back. Okay, good job, man. Yeah, sweet.
It is. It's figuring out how you. I feel like everyone's different.
Everyone's different, dude.
Yeah.
Some people hate that.
Yep.
Some people don't need that at all.
Yep.
But for me, like, and why I do that is because my brain is so busy and it's on and I'm so wired all the time that I need to be able to just be like, look at this. This is all that matters right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Let's get that YouTube edit done.
Yeah, man.
Okay, and I'm talking thumbnail done, like, everything, the whole video edit done, like posted and scheduled, everything. A teaser made, man. Scheduled on Instagram, everything done.
That's mad.
Yeah.
That's mad.
For me, that's what works.
And that's what works for me. And I've also felt the opposite. When I feel like I've got so much to do, and where I get overwhelmed and I do nothing.
Yes.
Because I haven't written that list. And bro, like, so my head is racing because of all the shit that I know I need to do.
Yeah.
And the day will go past and I've done none of it. And I'm like, how? How did that happen?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's such a weird thing to say and go through, but I've experienced it so much. Yeah. And the only the only way to kind of fix that for me has been like, let me just write 5 things down and then forget the rest and just focus on those 5.
Yeah.
The rest can wait because I've only got today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like whatever I can do today, that's all I can do. So I'll write just what are the 5 most urgent things, and then narrowing it down to just that and forgetting the rest has helped me so much.
Yes.
And when I don't do that, bro, it's so weird. Nothing gets done. And I'm like, I have so much to do today. I didn't do any of it. And then that like sets you back. And then you start having these weird conversations with yourself. Like, you
did nothing. What are you doing? Like, come on, man. And then you got even more to do now.
And it gets worse. It just keeps getting worse and it compounds. And I think it's important to like figure out like how you work best. And for you, it's the thing I took away from you was like, you've got systems. Like you're saying it like, oh yeah, man, I'm just pumping these videos out. And then you kind of brush over, I know that on Monday I shoot, on Tuesday I edit, and on Wednesday. That's a system that you've put in place that makes it easier for you to get that done consistently.
Yeah, for sure.
Without that, you look at it and you're like, how's this guy doing this? Because I've tried to do it and I can't.
And that's where like, I feel like some people, and like, I'm super fortunate. I hang around like a lot of successful people, and I'm so conscious that we are all products of our environment. Like if you hang around 5 successful people, there's a good chance you're the 6th. And if you hang around,
a matter of time.
And if you hang around 5 idiots, there's a good chance you're the 6th. You know what I mean? So for me, it's really interesting to see how they work, and like whether they have families or whether they're single or whatever they do. And some people like waking up at 5 a.m. and just sitting on a computer and working, getting it done. Before they do anything else. And like for me personally, I like to move. I like to go to the gym first thing, get it over and done with. Then I have to think about it, and I feel better. Energy's flowing. But for everyone, it's just everyone's different, and there is no rules. And that's like the biggest thing I've learned. Like the older I've gotten, it's like, man, if you want to stay up till 2 a.m. because that's when you work the best, then do it. Okay, I'm an advocate for getting your 8 hours. I need my 8 hours. We did briefly speak about that too. But I think that has a lot to do with what I've put my body through physically. You know what I mean? Like the injuries and things like that I've had, they definitely take their toll. So for me, it's like, okay, well, I need to treat this body with as much respect as possible because I've been pretty brutal to it at times. But I just don't think there is any rules. And I think it's all about experimenting, and just finding out what works for you.
While you were saying that, I feel like... something that's really important is like we talk about like working hard, and you have to work hard to like get the things that you want. But in order to work hard, there always comes like sacrifices. Like you've got to sacrifice certain things. You can't, you can have anything in the world, but you can't have everything in the world. Right. So you've got to choose the things that you want, knowing that some things are going to get sacrificed. It's knowing that you have to sacrifice certain things, but also knowing the things that you're not willing to sacrifice. Right. You spoke about the gym. Me too. I grew up like before being a creative, I was a personal trainer. So I lived in gyms for 15 years. So to me, that's something I'm not willing to sacrifice. Like my health. When I first started being I went all in and I didn't train. And it's like so out of shape and I felt like shit. Like I just didn't feel confident, and that affected me creatively. And then it made me realize, okay, that's something I'm not willing to sacrifice. So now I have to work out, I have to eat well in order to feel good working hard. I assume for you it'd be the same thing. Like you're not giving up riding a dirt bike. That's something that you probably have to find a way to include in your life no matter what. 100%. So there are probably, I'm assuming, things that you're willing to give up in order to pump out a YouTube video every week. But at the same time, there's also other things that you're probably not willing to sacrifice in order to keep yourself sane and
100%.
wanting to keep going.
And like I'm such an introverted extrovert in a way, like when I go to events and things like that, like, I'm happy to be the life of the party. Like that's me. And like I really enjoy meeting new people and things like that. But when I'm at home, like don't talk to me, don't look at me, just let me do my thing. You know what I mean? And I think like as far as like partying and things like that, it's just never really been my thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like there is the odd occasion, like weddings and things like that. Sure, let's have a blowout. But like week to week stuff, man. And I think those for me are just like those are decisions I've made and things that I've sacrificed to be like, hey man, like, yeah, I want to catch up with my mates and things like that, but I'd rather do it when I'm not thinking about work.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
I'd rather
yeah,
do
yeah.
it like, let me get on top of all these things, and then like in a couple of weeks, like when I'm sorted. And that's just how I work. Not everyone's like that. You know, some people might rather sacrifice the gym and go see their friends because they need that little bit of an outlet, and they're going to work better, and everyone's different.
There's nothing wrong with that,
There is
right?
nothing wrong with that at all, you know, and it's just about finding out what works for you.
Yeah, I found that too. That keeps some people going. Like they need to socialize.
Yeah.
And like it's important to them to like check in on their mates and hang out and have a beer with their mates on a Friday, and that's what keeps them going during the week. And that's like that's mad. Like that's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
And it is figuring out what makes you be efficient when you're working to
100%.
get you to your goals.
Yeah.
What got you into wanting to get into like the education space? Like,
I just think the sport that I love is motocross, and from it's so funny because I have such a interesting outlook on it all because I've seen it from like the content creator side, but then I've also seen it from the athlete side, and I just felt like I've been super fortunate to have so many amazing like brand deals and partnerships, and all it comes back to is like how I present myself. You know, like trying to be professional, sending through a good pitch decks, and always responding to emails, being proactive with emails. You know, like just trying to be the whole package. And it's something that I've thought about forever, and dealt with so many athletes in like so many other sports and industries through content creation, and had all these conversations, and like the same sort of things kept popping up, and it's just like a lot of people just don't really know how to pitch themselves and how to market themselves. And that's when like recently I just released the Moto Marketing Masterclass, and it's just an online course that helps educate riders, and it's something that I want to progress into not only motocross space but like action sports, normal sports, and even like just
it applies everywhere.
Yeah, ambassadors and influencers. It's the exact same protocols. It's just different wording.
Yes.
You know,
I agree.
Instead of being like, I want to wear your logo on this motocross track, it's like, hey, I want to wear it at the gym, or whatever it is, or
same process.
Exact same process. And it's just something that I'm so passionate about. And man, I've just like, it's always been something that I've thought about and like I've worked on, and I've learnt the hard way, like from sending shitty pitch decks and like sponsorship resumes and like half-assed emails and everything like that to then like figuring out, okay, like what do brands want? It's like brands don't want a sponsorship, like they want a partnership. You know, like they want a return on that investment. So how about I pitch to them what I can give them instead of I don't want to pitch to them what I want, you know. And so many people are like, hey, can you sponsor me? Like, can you give me stuff? And it's like, well, dude, that's not how it works. You know, so it's like I created this course and I just released it recently, and it's gone awesome. But I would love it to get out to the broader world, just because like I know how much it can help so many people.
I know too. I know too, because I've seen it. And it's like you need someone, like you've had that industry experience to be like, I've worked with brands. I know how brands work, how they think, how to negotiate with them. And it's a scary thing I'm someone who, as a creative, when I first started out, remember the very first time a brand reached out to me, had no idea what I was doing, man. Zero. I got on this call with like head of marketing for this Australian backpack company. I had no business being there, bro. And she's like, so how much? I'm just making up numbers. I still remember.
What you got?
It was, bro. It was. So I made a video for a backpack company.
Sick.
I tagged them. They reached out. They're like, that video's sick. They're like, but those colors are our old range. They're like, if we give you our new colors,
perfect.
Can you make us a video? And the phone call was about whether or not I could supply the models. And she's written in the email, let's have a call. She's like, depending on how much money you want, we'll use one model or two, right? This is what they said in the email. So then we get on the call and they're like, so what are you, terrified. They're like, what are your rates? And I can't remember what I said.
Were you prepared? Did you like have an idea of numbers?
It was just me. I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't have a fucking Moto Marketing Masterclass to buy. I had nothing. So I got on this call and I gave her a number, and I can't remember what it was, but all I know is that it was too low, because the second I said it, she's like, yeah, we'll take two models.
God damn it.
Literally, she just goes, yep, two models, no problem. Doubled it. And I was like, oh my God. But I was stoked. I was like, man, I got a brand, and you learn from that.
You got to learn. And there is a black art to that, dude. And it is so hard. And it's just like, man, you just got to...
But they're the moments where you wish you had someone you could ask.
Yeah.
Like when you're saying, like, who'd you ask? I'm like, 100%. I had no one to ask. I wish I did. And it's finding someone who has that industry experience, who's been in that situation so many times. Who's like, this is how you approach it. This is how you negotiate. Don't let them lowball you. Like, all these things are important. And a lot of creatives, not just in dirt bike world, don't know how to navigate that situation.
Oh, 100%. And that's where that's like the digital assets and those courses are something I really want to lean into the future, because I want to create those communities where you can have those conversations.
Yeah.
You know, like where we now do weekly calls with the Moto Marketing Masterclass, and all the riders who are free on that day, they jump in and we have those conversations, you know, and be like, hey dude, like what do you want? Like what are you trying to get? Like what's your value too? Like what can you offer them? And you have those conversations, because without them conversations, dude, you're literally making it up on the spot.
Yeah.
You know, and the exact same thing is like with content creators or filmers or videographers or podcasters, it's the exact same thing, man. Unless you can have a bit of a community there, or a course that you can follow, or someone that can mentor you, like you're literally making up on the fly. And I think you've probably done the same thing as me. It's like, dude, just through trial and error, I've got to where I am, you know, but it would have made life 10 times easier.
So much, like so many missed opportunities, or like it feels bad because you're like, you know, you're not being valued, right? You're like, oh, this is a mess, and now I'm in this situation where I know I'm not getting paid what I'm worth.
Yes.
But because I don't know any better, I've just got to do the work.
Do it.
And you feel a bit shit. And I think what's actually really cool, I know that there's a lot of people out there, but it's so random. I was out shooting, so we're in a gym right now, right? And outside this door, I shoot a lot in this underground area. And it was 2 weeks ago, I was shooting, and when I'm working, I just shoot, like I'm not aware of like the members in the gym that are training. I'm just focused on like the models and doing my job.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm shooting, I finish, I come back in this podcast studio, and this kid, he's like 18 years old, 19. He just walks in. He looks nervous as hell. He's like, hey, man, I saw you shooting out there. My name's Jack. And he's like, I do... he gave it a name, mogul skiing. He goes, I'm a skier. No one knows this type of skiing, but it's what I do. And he goes, it's really cool. And I know I do like something cool, and I want to create content around it, but I have no idea how to do it. And he goes, can I just come and help you out? Whenever you're shooting... Just can I tag along? I'll do whatever you want. Yeah. And I just wanted to help him. So for the last 2 weeks, he's just he just rocks up. He just messaged me. He goes, where are you going to be? And he just comes and he just stands there. Wow. And I help him. I just give him advice. It's always good for me because I just give him one of my spare cameras. I'm like, bro, shoot some BTS. You can't get it wrong. Like, don't worry.
Just make sure it's recorded.
Yeah. But then we have these chats afterwards, and he was saying, right now he's left. He's gone to watch the Winter Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
But then he said he's going to Canada to train for this tournament, this championship. And he's saying, this is literally him saying, like, I know I do something like really cool, and I feel like I can probably create partnerships with the resorts. I don't really know how to do it. And I see all my mates who are into skiing who are getting sponsorships and all these deals, and I have no idea how to do it. I literally told him about you.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I've got this guy coming on. Yeah, like there's literally no difference. You don't have to be a dirt bike rider. No. But everything, he had no idea. Which is, I think, a lot of people out there who know that they do something cool.
Yes.
But they just don't know how to document it. They don't know how to reach out to these people.
100%.
And I told him, bro, I was like, the first great thing you did, you just had the balls to just see me and walk 100%. Up and say, can I help?
Especially at that age.
Yeah, like, especially at that age.
Credit where it's due.
Exactly. And I was like, dude, if you do that, what you did to me over there, like you're going to get opportunities just off that.
Yeah.
But it made me realize there's so many people out there that can benefit from doing a course like that, or just understanding how to reach out and create these sort of partnerships and develop themselves creatively so that they can live out not just like their dream of doing their hobby for a living, you know, but monetizing it and creating a brand around it.
Yeah, exactly. And you see like 18-year-olds, but 15-year-olds and 10-year-olds like with massive followings with brand deals. And it's like, it's doable. It's 100% doable these days.
Dude, totally. And he'd be looking, and I feel like a lot of people do this. Like, he's looking at his mates who are doing it, and he's like, bro, he's not even good at skiing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
100%. But if you can market yourself right, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, and that's the biggest thing about this course. It's not really about your following or your results. It's about your value.
Yeah.
Everyone has different value. Like, you might just be super relatable and people love watching you because you're kind of funny and like you're a bit dorky and you fall over a bit or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, or people might love you, dude, and see your value because you just win everything.
Yeah.
You know, or people might really value, dude, because like you're really awesome to your brands and partners. Like they can see their logos, like you're always producing content for them, and like that has a strong value there. And that's like my biggest thing about the course, because I get so many people reach out, for example, and they're just like, oh, I don't really have a big following, or I'm not winning national events. I'm like, I know, like that's why I created this, to find your value. Like, what
Yeah.
do you have? Everyone has value. It's just about leveraging that. And
Yep.
for him, like obviously he seems like a pretty confident young man. It's like, dude, there's value there, right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether he has a big audience or whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's about, okay, how can we approach this and how can I pitch myself?
Yes.
I think it's so important.
I think so too. And I think it's a combination of a lot of things in terms of like trying to make this work, in terms of how people want it to work. And from looking at like your course and everything that you're promoting, I feel like it's a balance. I've tried to figure it out. I feel like it's a balance of 4 things. And it's like, one is there is an element, it's not all of it, right? Of actually being good at your craft, like a skill, right? So developing your skill.
Yes.
It's not everything,
No.
but it's a part of it. Like if you're good at the thing,
it gives
helps.
you credibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's a portion of your effort that needs to go to developing the skill.
Yeah.
Another one's like building your personal brand, like putting yourself out there in front of a camera, like just putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. There's an element to that. There's an element of storytelling, like actually being able to tell your story, which is something that you teach in your course as well. Like, how do you tell a good story?
Yeah.
What makes you different from everyone else? And then there's like actually monetizing it. Because there are a lot of people that have all the views and all the followers and they're making nothing. Jack shit.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to monetize.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, there are people who don't have much of a following, but they know how to monetize it.
Yeah.
Maybe because they're really good at, storytelling or building their brand.
Exactly right.
And I think you need those 4 things.
Yeah.
A healthy balance of those 4 things. You neglect any of these and you could like fall behind.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just about trying to educate everyone on how to do that as easy as possible. You know what I mean? Like if you're not very good at marketing or selling yourself, it's like, all right, dude, I've created an email for you. You just have to put your details in and send it off.
Yep.
And but understand it, obviously. And it's just like for me, dude, like I just love the sport so much, and I just know there is so much space for so many more people to succeed, which is why I put my heart and soul into like the last 12 months. Because like to create a course like this is so time consuming.
Yeah,
like
it's a lot of work.
Disgusting. And you need to make sure, like, it's so easy from my eyes to be like, oh yeah, this makes sense. But I'm like, but does it make sense to a 10-year-old?
Yeah.
Or does it make sense to a 30-year-old who's just getting into riding?
Yeah, of course.
So it's just about trying to be as relatable and educational, but like keeping it short and sweet as possible. And yeah, dude, it was a real challenge, but it's something I'm super proud of. And and I really look to sort of expand that into like both motocross, action sports, then like any general sports, and then influencers and ambassadors. Yeah,
from talking to people who have done well, like in any creative space, I've spoken to them about like courses, and a lot of them say that it takes a really long time to build out a course. And at the end of it, you're not sure if it's going to do well.
Yeah.
And that's what holds people back from actually doing it. Like they're afraid.
Yes.
Because they're like, what if I spend 12 months building this because I think I have a big following and then no one buys it? And it's and that's what stops them from doing it. Did you face that?
Oh yeah, I still do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it hasn't gone as good as what I hoped.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, then like it just comes back that it's the exact same conversation we had about, but like even social media and views and things like that. It's like, it doesn't matter because over time, I know it's going to grow. Like I have a goal. I'm like, I want to sell 1,000 copies of the course.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I'm not there yet.
Yep.
I'm not even close to it. But I'm like, all right, dude, I know if I keep head down butter and if I keep helping riders and educating them and doing everything I can in my power, it's going to happen.
Awesome.
Like I just have to believe it's going to happen because I know what's in there.
You
just
know
like,
it's good.
Just like you said before with your pods, like when you do a good pod and you put your best foot forward and you're prepared for it and everything was great.
Yep.
It's like, doesn't really matter about the results. What matters is that I'm putting my best foot forward.
Yes.
And I know I am, and I know I have.
Yeah.
And even now with like the weekly check-ins and that, I'm like, dude, I'm going above and beyond to help these guys as much as possible, guys and girls as much as possible. And it's like, so until I reach that number, no. Will I be happy? No. But again, like I'm not going to let that dictate like my effort and attitude.
Yes.
Man,
it's good. You need that. Like
you have to. Yeah. And is it terrifying? Yes. And like,
yes.
Did I go backwards financially because of how much like sweat equity I put into it? Yeah, 100%. And like my Instagram failed a little bit because of that. My YouTube has copped it a little bit because of that. But it's like, but now I know moving forward, it's like I've done all the hard yards and now it's just like, okay, it will, like it's going to work because I'll make sure.
Yeah, of course.
And
I think the more people that do it, the more people you help, the more proof you have.
Yeah, the more testimonial. 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like anything. And that's like same as like you guys or like anyone filming for a client.
Yeah.
At first, you're like, oh, I hope they like it. But then you start to get a few more calls and a few more, bit more work. And you're like, oh, people do like my stuff.
Yeah,
It's the exact same thing, like no matter what industry you're in or where you are, but it's the exact same thing. You know,
you're
same with
absolutely
the pods.
right. Yeah, same as the pod. But it is that. A lot of people won't buy into something until they see that it's working for other people.
And fair enough.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And fair enough. You're right, man. That it's such a massive similarity. I've had the same with this pod.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like with views, with people watching, but even with like guests at the start, I've got nothing to show for it. So I'm reaching out to people, crickets, bro. No one, nothing.
Yeah.
But fair enough. I've got no views, no episode, nothing.
Yeah.
No one knows anything.
Yes.
So whereas like once I started getting people and guests under the belt, people then go to the pen, they're like, oh, wow. He's had these people on.
Yeah.
But also is the point of like, oh, he's actually taking this seriously.
Yes.
He's showing up every week.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, maybe people are skeptical because people just do courses and they don't put that much effort into it.
Yeah, yes.
And it takes time, one, for them to think, oh, wow, he's actually helping people. And now all these people are in the situation I wish I could be in.
Yeah.
So they need that proof first.
Yeah.
And then two, if they see that you're still showing up and you're still promoting it, they're like, oh, he's actually taking this seriously as well.
Yeah.
But that takes time. But then once you get there, a lot more people are buying in.
100%. And dude, like I've even copped it, like on social media, like there'll be dudes posting things about, hey man, like if you want help with marketing yourself, go check out my course. And I've been people like, oh, you're getting desperate now. It's like, yeah, I am desperate. I'm desperate to help, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing for the sport? You know, and like, and it's so funny. Like, yeah, I copped a little bit of flack here and there, and it's like, all right, dude, that's all well and good, but that's a reflection of you, not me.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing to help the sport?
Yes.
Like, I want these people, and like, yeah, is there a price to pay for it? Yeah, there is. But also, I've also offered like a free roadmap on my website. So it's like, if you want to see where you're at in regards to marketing, it's like, go do the free one. And like, if you see value there, hell yeah, purchase it. But if not, dude, don't stress. Like, if that's not for you, no stress. But it's like, it's so funny because it's so easy to care about what other people think. But it's like, man, I'm putting my best foot forward here, and you know, it's all I can do.
That's the attitude, man. Like totally. Like it really is. Like, you know, you're genuinely helping people.
Yeah, 100%.
And the thing is, a lot of people hear that, bro, one bad comment can ruin your day.
Yeah.
You know, I remember like you get the very first one and it's just like, what? And you're like, your whole day, you just can't think. And I'm like, I don't even know this guy.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and then it's like, everything can stop. Because of like one bad comment, one, not even like you heard someone told someone else that they think that what you're doing is stupid, and you're just like, oh shit.
And that's a frustrating thing about the human brain, dude. Like it's hard for us not to focus on the negatives.
Yeah.
But it's like there could be 20, 30, 100 awesome positive comments about what you're doing. Yeah. And then someone talks shit about it, and like you can't get rid of that thought. Yeah, man. You know, but then it's like the older I've gotten, it's just. And I guess the wiser I've gotten is just like, that's just a reflection of them, man. Yeah. It's a reflection of them. Like they're not happy within themselves, or they're not happy because they haven't done what you're doing. And it's like, perfect. Like, this is my motivation now. Like, thank you. Yes. You know what I mean? And like, so yeah, I'd even responded to a couple of people like that. I'm like, yeah, dude, like I am desperate to help. I'm like, go check out the free roadmap. Hopefully it can help you, dude. Have a good day.
Very good response.
You know, and like deep down, I'm like, you know, but you just got to be a bigger person. I'm like, whatever, man. Like, you're a nobody. I've never heard of you. I don't really care for what you have to say because you're not a person I want to be. Yeah, totally. And it's like, this is just the way I see it. And like, I just mentally talk shit about him inside my head, get it out of my system, and then say something nice and move on.
Then just say something nice and move on. Get on with my day.
Yeah, but man, that's just like, that's how my brain works. Yeah, yeah. And like, for me, that's a really positive system that I have, and actually works really well for me because like deep down, me 10 years ago, I really like would have taken that personally. Yeah. And now it's like, dude, you're just like, whatever. That's a reflection of them.
Have to respond.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's good, and you need to find a way to like overcome that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I had one recently. I heard a guy, and you know when someone says something, it sticks to you, like the Jim Carrey moment. This is on that level, but still at the same time. I heard a guy in an interview say like, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, how successful you get. Every time like you put yourself out there, for every 10 people that see something that you've posted, 3 are going to like it no matter what. Like there's 3 people out there out of it doesn't matter if it's shit, what it is, they're going to love it. They're like, that's
your
mad.
Mom, your dad.
Yeah, exactly. But he's like, out of every 10, 3 are going to love it no matter what. 3 are going to hate it no matter what. They're going to give you shit. They're always going to be there. Yep. And the rest don't even care who you are or what you're doing. Yep. And he's like, if you're cool with that, you'll be able to do anything.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There are people that are like at the top of their game. Like you see sports, like LeBron James, like imagine being the greatest at like what you do, or in the top 1% ever there's so many people that hate that guy. Imagine him looking at his comments.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And it goes to show this, like, it doesn't matter how good you get at the thing, they're always going to be there. And you have to, if he let bad comments stop him from playing basketball.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
And that's the exact same thing, like,
with everything.
Dude, with the pod and content creation. It's like, dude, there are friends and family who are going to be like, that's stupid. And it's like, whatever you do, don't listen to them. Like, just do what you want to do. Because when it is successful, they'll be like, I told you it would work. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that it's just like, you just got to go, I'm just a huge believer in, like, stick to your gut. You know, because regardless what other people say, it's like, that's a reflection of them. You know, and your parents might not understand what you want to do because they were brought up in a different world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you can't even blame them for that. It's not a them thing. It's not a you thing. It's just like, it was a different world and a different time. And I think we'll all end up having that with our kids as well. We'll be like, oh, dude, we know everything. Like, we're so open-minded. And then it's like, but then they've grown up with iPads. Like, I didn't grow up with an iPad. You know what I mean? And just like, it's just a different world again.
That's true. Because that'll happen too. Yeah. Everything's like, especially in the creative world, things change so quickly. Like,
look at AI stuff, dude.
Yeah. That's the next thing, right? Our kids are going to be like talking about all this, and we're going to be talking shit about it. Going, what do you know? And then it'll take off. They're going to be talking the exact same way about us, the way we're talking about 100%. Our parents right now.
We're going to be like, you should have seen this chat GPT thing we had. It was crazy. It was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, 100%.
And they would have moved on like 10 iterations from now. It wouldn't even be like, wow. Yeah. That's good. You also talk about, like, I was going through the topics that you talk about in your course, and a lot of them are just so relevant in terms of getting these relationships going, like with brands and whatnot. And I think another big one was like just following up with people. That a lot of this is knowing like who you're knowing what you want in whatever career it is, and then making it happen. Like, you have to be very proactive. Everyone that I've had on that's like done well, most are just so proactive with chasing the opportunities that they want and not like settling. And a lot of your course, there's parts of it where it's like, don't just send an email and then sit there when no one writes back and move on. It's like you've got strategies to like follow up on these things. And I think it's important. I think I speak passionately about this because I know with the pod, I reach out to people, and there are times it takes, crickets, or it just takes ages.
Yes.
I've had people, like, I've reached, so many, especially recently, it's crazy. When things were quiet, I'd reach out to people, they never wrote back, and then magically, like 7 months later, they're like, oh, sorry, mate, I just saw this in my inbox. I'm like, bullshit, bro. You were just waiting, and like they see the proof, and then all of a sudden they turn up. But then there's also just following up. Like, now I know, like, a month goes by, if they show any interest, I'm like, hey man, just check in. Like, there's nothing wrong there, but there's a strategy there. Like, hey man, just checking in. You're probably, a lot of these people are busy. And like, they shouldn't have to stop what they're doing to reply to me. They don't even know me most of the time. So it's like having that respect and just being like, hey, just checking in, seeing if you're still keen. And a lot of the time that's rewarded me. And it does here as well. But I like that you actually teach like a strategy to stick with it and follow up.
And the reason why I have a whole section involved in the follow-up is because so many people take it personally. Like, if they don't get a response, like, oh, they just don't want to sponsor me, or they don't want me to do a shoot for them, or like whatever industry it is, you know, they don't want to do a pod with you. And it's like, not necessarily, dude. Like, sometimes they can just be super busy and like, or have seen it like, oh, I'll get back to that, and haven't.
Exactly.
You know, or B, they just need a little bit more proof. So now they've got an eye on you, and they've seen you do a few more. Oh, he's doing one every week. Oh, okay, like his guests, like, well, they have a good audience, or that was a great pod, or whatever it is. And then that's enough for them to go, okay, like, how can we follow up without being like too critical or needy? You know, I don't like the word needy, but I think, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be like too desperate, too needy, but like, so what's a go? You just want to be like, hey man, like, and like you said, hey dude, just checking in. Like, would love to have you on, got some availability in the next couple months, can work to you, let me know. I'm easy either way, you know, but not taking that first hit personally is the biggest thing, you know, and that's a huge draw card that I sort of mentioned is like, dude, if you reach out to a brand, and like in the past, and even still now, when I reach out to brands, like, if I send 10 emails and like 10 pitch decks, I'm probably getting a response to 1 or 2.
Cool.
So 10 to 20% maybe, you know what I mean? And it's like, but then if I use a follow-up strategy, it usually doubles that. You know, so then it's like, even for you, if you're doing the pod, you're like, okay, well, I want to double my response rate. So how do I do that? And it's just like, okay, firstly, don't take it personally. Secondly, just check in. Like, polite response, go, hey guys, like, what are we doing? And And yeah, I just think it's such an important way to go about it without taking it personally or like negatively.
Yes, very good.
Because they might not make, and dude, don't get me wrong, there are people who just like, hey man, not interested.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. And they're allowed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there are other people who are just like, oh my God, man, sorry dude, this got misplaced, or yep, no, I just wanted to check in for a bit. Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't be offended by that.
Can't be offended by it. And it's hard not to take it personally. It's really hard not to take it personally.
It is.
Yeah. Even like if you're a content creator or a podcaster or an athlete.
I felt all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do. Especially, I get it. And then negotiating, like say you have a brand interested. How do you understand your value when it comes to negotiating these things? Like we touched on it before, but I'm assuming there are times where a brand would offer you just a product.
Yep.
And then you want, like a lot of the times, depending on your situation, you'd take that. But then eventually you need to reach a point where it's like, no, man, the products aren't enough. I need to make a living out of this.
Yep.
How do you start figuring out what you're actually worth?
Well, I think it's sort of different for anyone and any brand and like whatever situation you're in. But I think it's important to start somewhere that you're comfortable. So say, for example, in a product deal.
Yep. And
then you go, okay, guys, like this has been awesome 12 months. Thank you so much for all the products. I'd love to chat next year about whether you have like some content budget or some travel budget. Like I'd love to go to other events and like shoot some epic content in different locations. Like, is there some way that we can incorporate both of those?
So you're making suggestions.
Yeah, 100%. Just trying to like continually upsell, and they're like, oh yeah, you know what, we actually do have a bit of content budget, or no, we don't have content budget, but we have a filmer. So then it's like, all right, perfect. Now you're getting like a free video project out of it that might have cost you a couple $1,000s to get a filmer in, like as an athlete, for example. And then it's just sort of about having those kind of conversations. And, you know, the next year you go, hey guys, thank you so much for the content budget and the travel budget. Is there any chance we can add some salary in there? You know, like look at how much we've done, look at the audience growing, like everyone's loving what we're doing.
Nice.
For me, I just feel like, you know, I'm worth that. Like how do we go about having a conversation there? You know what I mean? And just kind of progressively growing it. And like, you got to know where your value is. And that might start off with like, hey guys, can we just like maybe look to get a 20% discount this year on some products, you know, like whatever level you're at,
Very
you know?
good.
But then progressing that and having those conversations, and they're hard conversations to have, especially if you're new to it. You know, if you're quite seasoned and you've done it a bit like me now, like I don't really mind if they say no, I don't take it personally, but it's easy if you're starting out, to ask for something and they just say no, and it's super easy to take that personally. But again, it's just like, okay, maybe that no happened for a reason because there's another yes around the corner. You know, with a different brand. You know, and things like that. So it's just, dude, and it's just all about sort of educating yourself on that and having those conversations with them. Just like, how can we work together? Like I want to be at more events, so your gear bags are seen elsewhere, and I want to create content around that you can use as ads now. You know what I mean? So it's like, how can we work together here?
Very good.
You know, instead of being like, oh yeah, I just want some money.
You know, exactly.
Know? And it's just about like, how do you work together there?
And it is that whenever you're working with someone or collaborating, you need to think in terms of like, what do they want?
Yes.
And how can I show them that I can give them what they want rather than just asking what I want?
Yes.
You're right.
And I think a really important part there, like to further that, is I'm really conscious when I'm working with brands to be like, what part of this do you want to showcase? So like, for example, if it's a bag company like you mentioned before, like I actually have a bag sponsor and they just released a new color range. So they have like some specific zippers on there. So it's like, what do you want me to focus on with this content? And it's like, okay, so me writing wise, I want to make sure I look cool in this part, but then me as a filmer wise, I want to make sure that I tick those boxes for them. So when they see the content, they can use those digital assets in the way that they want to. Instead of like, you don't want to send content back and they're like, oh, you didn't even have the zippers on there. Or the big main logo's not even on there. You know, like I think it's really important, whether you're an athlete or a content creator, to be like, what do you guys like? What's the best case scenario for you with this content?
Yes.
You know, and having those conversations and just trying to get the value for them as well, because you want everyone to be happy. And it's like, I want to make sure I look good on the bike when I'm riding with this backpack. And I want to make sure that they're getting their bang for their buck by having either the logos or the zippers or whatever it is. You know, and I think it's important to have that set of eyeballs on both ends, you know, and to ask those questions.
That's sick. So I think it is like the three things that I kind of got out of that was like, you've got to ask the right questions to figure out what they want, and also just not be afraid to suggest things, because a lot of the times that they only know what they know, and you making these extra suggestions like, no, I actually do all these other things as well, which is something that they may not have even thought of.
100%.
Sick, man. Very good. And And then it's like maintaining these relationships.
Yeah.
Like solid relationships.
Yeah, and I think that just comes down to just like under promise and over deliver.
Yeah.
Like if they ask for something, like unless it's ridiculously unrealistic, just like, yeah, no worries, I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, let's do it.
Yep.
You know, and like, yeah, there are some times where I'm like, oh, I do not have the time for this, but I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, because I value the relationships, I value the partnerships that I have, you know, and you just go, okay, well, that's how you get the longevity.
Yeah.
You know, there's no point sort of going hard, getting your paycheck and then sort of boosting out of there, because it's like, dude, within these industries, and same thing like with local towns, with like content creators and things like that, you burn a couple bridges or like you use and abuse, and it's like your name sort of turns to mud pretty quick. But it's like, dude, you under promise and over deliver, and like you're a man of your word. Like, dude, you're going to build great relationships, whether that's writing for brands or filming for businesses.
Their reputation's going to stick with you.
Yeah, 100%. And dude, like, you don't want to be leaving crumbs everywhere. Like, oh, I can't talk to that person because I ripped them off on a shoot or whatever it is. You want to be like, hey, dude, like, I did the sickest shoot for that dude. And like, God, I wish I made more money, but whatever. You know what I mean? And they're like, but you would have learned from that for next time. And that's where dude, I'm huge on like under promise and over deliver for sure.
Very good. Very good. Now, if we were to let's use my pod as an example. Say today I wanted to start getting sponsored for this. What advice would you give me? What are some couple of steps, 3 steps that you'd suggest I do for me to say in the next 3 months have a sponsor for this place?
I think first and foremost is exactly what we sort of spoke about earlier, is finding someone or something that aligns with you and what you're doing. You know, so whether that's like a drink that you drink that you could sit right there, that you can easily market, that you would actually like to sip on, whether that's an iced coffee or an Oxy Shred or whatever that is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think just finding someone that relates and aligns with you is just like first and foremost. And then
how would I approach them? Is it just an email?
No, I would like, dude, I think Canva's a great way to sort of do it. You can just like look up pitch decks there, and just create a professional pitch deck and just like look it up, like, hey guys, so like I would start, so I would go on to Canva, or like, dude, if you're good at Photoshop and things like that, which a lot of people are, and there are so many other apps and things like that you can do now, but create a professional pitch deck that shows your value and creates a partnership, you know, and talk to them about a partnership. Like, hey guys, I love your brand. I think I can help you here, and here. And I would love to chat about a partnership where I could potentially get X, Y, and Z value in return.
So actually put in work to actually present something.
Yeah, 100%. Because you want to come forward, like you want to be proud of what you're sending them. Because you could send them an email, but hey guys, like love your stuff. Like, it'd be cool if we could work together. Yeah. And it's like, there's no like wow factor. Like you send that off, you're like, I hope it goes okay. But you send a pitch deck that looks sick, you're like, this is sick. You know what I mean? And just like it creates a good intention, it creates positivity, and it's like, you know that you put your best foot forward.
Yes.
You know,
that's mad. You actually said that. You said that like that's where most people fail. They've got like no pitch, no media pack, no professional way to present.
I would
themselves.
love you to do it.
Yeah.
Like I reckon I'm going to enroll you into the course.
Do
the course.
I'll
and send a pitch from the templates that I've created and the emails that I've created. And see if we can get you a sponsor.
Oh, dude, I'd totally do it.
Let's do it.
And I could actually, we can prove whether what you do work or not.
100%. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll enroll you for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm up for it.
What's the first brand or something that comes to mind when you think of like getting a sponsor for this?
I don't know. I feel like I need to think of. I've thought of. I'm trying to help beginner creatives. So in my mind, I'm like, what would help them also? Yeah.
So you think of like camera stores or something? Or
maybe something like that. Yeah, something that like if I use this, but it will also help who's watching.
For sure.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just, and I also think I feel like that's my audience. Yep. So I try to think of brands who also would want that audience, or also have the same audience.
Yes.
Which sometimes may not be a camera brand, could be like a lighting company.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more. It's taking that time. I think it's really important to sit and think, who is my audience? Yeah. Because then once you figure that out, I would list a list of brands who I think would have that similar audience.
Yeah, that could make their life easier.
Exactly, and that would probably be my short list. But I'd be down for sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because it is interesting. I think it works, and I think there's so much benefit to actually having some sort of strategy to doing it.
Yeah,
because and I've learned just from, even if it's just that, getting people on the pod. To me, I'm like, I've had to figure out my own system, my own way of doing it, and realizing, okay, this works, this doesn't work. But a lot of the things that you're saying make way more sense to what I'm doing. And the thing is, you only know what you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So everything that I've been doing, I'm like, seems to work for me.
Yeah.
But then you've said some things today where I'm just like, I could use that.
Yeah.
I could use it. That's going to make this so much
Sure.
better.
And even to the content creators who are listening, like there's so many brands and businesses that I've pitched to, like using the exact same process,
man.
just different wording to get big commercial jobs or international jobs and things like that. And it 100% helps so much, as opposed to being like, hey guys, like sending out an email, hey guys, like if you need a filmer, like let me know. It's like, nah, dude, like let's send them a pitch deck with some of my work that looks epic. So people are like, oh wow, this dude's legit. Okay, we've got someone for the next 6 months, but if that ever goes pear-shaped, we're hiring
We
this
know we've
person.
got this dude,
100%. Yeah.
You've got their attention.
Yeah.
And man, even I think about client work that I have. It's so weird that I don't learn.
When I learn today.
I gotta learn today. But my approach to the pod seems so different to my approach with like client work.
Yeah, right.
Like when I have client work, like I had a cafe reach out to me. It was 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
I have a proper like pitch,
Portfolio or a pitch or something.
everything, and I like put it together, and I show up because I know it works.
Yeah, sick.
Like I know if I rock up and I show them this, they get blown away.
So you
every
show them like a
time.
video on your iPad or something?
No,
or
I've got like
what
a whole presentation, and
Okay,
I
cool.
go through everything, like shit that they don't even think of. Shit, I know that they don't think of. So I'd go, everything that I just told you, like in terms of what I do for me, I then do for them. So for this, she's the owner of a cafe.
Yeah.
I went in there with this presentation, and I'm like, based on what I know about your company, and I'll spend the time to do it.
Yes.
I'm like, it was a cafe. In the back of the cafe, a roaster. So they actually sell coffee beans to other cafes, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I went to her and I was full pitch, pictures, everything. There's a whole presentation. I'm like, you have, I would say to me, I'm like, tell me if I'm wrong, but to me, you have two audiences. One is the cafe, so coffee lovers, people that come to your store and that they just love a coffee. They love community.
Yep.
That they want to know the barista. That's one audience. However, at the back, you're selling to businesses. Your coffee. That's a separate audience.
Commercial audience.
A commercial audience to other businesses. So now your content needs to speak to one or the other.
Yes.
Now we have like some direction. Are we serving, when we make a piece of content, are we serving the casual coffee lover for the cafe? Or are we serving other businesses and teaching them about coffee?
Yes.
Just that alone, they're like, oh shit, this guy like takes this seriously.
Yes.
He's not just rocking up with a random email. Then the next page was me going through their content and picking out what I thought was good. So I would say, I think this was a great piece of content. This was good. This was good. Let's try and keep this going to give them some positive feedback.
Yeah. This
this all shit.
Hire me. Yeah.
But I'd be like, try and keep that going. But at the same time, this is what I think would work as well on top of the. But coming in with this approach, and then there was references. The last one was reference. This is other cafes and roasters in this space that I think are doing a good job that we can kind of get some references and ideas of, so that you can actually see who's someone doing this well, what it looks like, and what you could potentially look like if we have some sort of structure.
Sick.
And it was all laid out. There was like 5-6 pages.
Yeah.
I knew straight away I won her over.
Yeah.
Instantly.
You had her on page 1.
Yeah. But it's like taking that time to prepare.
Yep.
And it's not a lot of time, but it's like you show up and you take yourself seriously, you take them seriously.
Yeah.
Straight, completely different experience.
Yes.
Compared to when I first started and I'm just rocking up with a camera going, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, or sending an email.
100%.
And it makes the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And if you compound that, do that 10, 20 times, how much more work you're going to get at the end of it compared to doing it the old way.
And the quality of the work you're going to be able to do.
Exactly.
You know, people are going to see that and be like, okay, we don't mind paying $3,000 for today's shoot.
They start understanding the value in it. Yeah, man. Totally. You rock up with your camera and you want to charge like a bomb for what you're doing. Then I'm like, what for?
Exactly. We'll just go get a camera.
Yeah. But you show that. You rock up, you show your templates, like everything.
Yes.
That price now actually makes sense in their mind when you say it.
Exactly. So like you talking about even sponsors for here, and it's like it's exactly if you put that exact same sweat equity, because at the end of the day, it's not costing you anything but time, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You either have time or you have money.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
So it's like, okay, what do we do? And for me, that's why I created that course. I had time, so it's like, okay, I'm going to put all the time into it. And like, dude, if you put that foot forward in regards to getting sponsors or partners for the podcast, I know sure as hell that you are going to find brands that you align with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or businesses that you align with.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it seems like, dude, you've got an awesome system down. And I think for creators who are listening, who are looking to get better jobs and, you know, like you starting out doing shoots for a couple $100 and you want to start to get to $1,000 or thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, it just, so much of it is like your relationship with that person, like the rapport you build, and then like your preparation. It's just so important, dude. Like you rock up with that, like a presentation, whether that's like a PDF or something that you can email through beforehand, before you rock up, and it's like, man, it's nearly game over.
Yep.
You know, and getting back to them quick and being efficient. Like I just think, dude, it's just so important.
Yeah, man. And then you build trust as well. I think there's a trust factor that comes with experience.
Huge.
I feel like I get a lot more trust from clients when they see me show up, because I've proven to them that I'm going to give them good work and it's going to, they're going to get it on time.
Yes.
Compared to even within my own team, like I send someone out, someone that I've hired, and the trust is gone.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we want Kenny, man. Where's he gone?
Yeah.
And then I realize as soon as I show up that they feel way more better, they're like, oh, okay, cool. I know the job's going to get done.
Which is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because you want to be able to outsource, like when you do go, because you do, there's only so much pull and time that you have.
Yeah.
You know, so it's about creating those relationships and then bringing those other workers or staff along with you, and, you know, building the relationship with them as well.
You're right. And it takes time. But I think that's what increases your value as well. Like when you're showing up and you're giving good work, people then, it's like, no, I'd rather have John every time, because I know I'm going to get good work. I know it's going to come on time. I'm going to get everything I want, and that's worth paying more than getting the next guy who I don't really know and I don't really trust yet.
Yeah, 100%.
Mad. I was so excited to have you on, because from following you, everything that you teach, I knew, I'm like, this applies to every creative, no matter what you're into.
Yeah.
And I just knew, even just looking at it, some people are like dirt bike, like a lot of your audience probably aren't into dirt bikes.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but what he's teaching applies to everyone. Yeah. In this creative space.
Yeah, and that's where, like, with the course, dude, I really wanted to start in my niche.
Yeah, of course.
Because my audience is moto.
Yeah.
You know, like I reckon 95% of them are moto. And that's where I think once this course does start to take off, and the things that I will learn from the course, like the flaws that it'll have, it's going to have flaws for sure. Like I know that. Like I know I'm going to learn so much from this. Yeah. But I think then I can just expand from it. Like there is such a good core there. And like you said, it can just educate so many people in so many other ways. And like even in business, it's the exact same thing. It's like, all right, how do we have these conversations? Like how do we progress this conversation to go, all right, well, they only wanted to pay $1,000, but I think we can get $1,500 from them by offering X, Y, and Z on top. You know what I mean? And just like whatever that conversation is. And it's just about, educating them on, you know, how to negotiate, you know, how to follow up, and then how to build those relationships and those partnerships. Because it's so important. It's the exact same principle, whether you're creating content, whether you're an athlete, you know, whether you're doing a podcast.
True. And I think it is sticking with it. From people that I know who are doing courses at the moment, from like, man, I pay attention to everything. Like when they talk about like their process and how the experience has been for them. Yeah. What I keep hearing time and time again, especially with the courses, is like they'll do a course, like they'll run a course, but then each time they run it, they're just improving it. Like you've got this product now, and you're just going to find ways to make it better. Yes. So it's constantly improving itself over and over and over again. And a lot of these guys, they've done that same course for a year, 2 years, and it's on its 10th iteration. Yes. And it's so good compared to the very first one, because each time they're just improving it. And then with that, you can increase the price. Yes. And then more people are getting more value out of it. Yeah. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people wait for the perfect product, and that's why they never release it. Yeah. Rather than just releasing it and improving as you go along and getting feedback from people. Yeah. And I think the best example, I've said this, it was ages ago, the best example of this is the iPhone. Where like we've allowed them to publicly make, what are we, 17 iterations into it? Yeah. Like they started with the 1. Yes. And we were cool with that. Yeah. We didn't wait for them to get to 17 to be like, oh, now it's mad. Yeah. They just started with the 1. Every year they just make improvements and they put out another one. Yeah. It's the same as a course. Every year I'm just going to keep putting out a better one and a better one. And until, man, we're going to keep going. And we allow them to do that. Yeah. Whereas like a lot of us hold ourselves back because like this course isn't perfect yet. Perfect. Yeah. 100%. And I'm going to wait until I get to the 17th version of this before I put it out. Whereas we can watch these bigger companies publicly do it, and like we're not learning from them. Yeah,
100%. But it's because they have the name and the reputation that it doesn't matter. But it's like, dude, same thing with us. Like you just got to put yourself out there, and you just got to understand, like, dude, there are going to be, like, I've never done a course before. Like, of course I'm going to stuff some things up. And like, so far there hasn't been anything super drastic or anything, you know? But like, it's funny, even as you're talking about that, it's like so funny. It's a thought that I've had so much. So I can't wait to like renew it and update it and continually to learn. Like, the more people that do it, the more feedback I'm going to get, the more feedback I'm going to get, the more I learn, the better I can make the course.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just going to keep snowballing and making it better and better. And it's just like, it's just like sky's the limit. And exactly like you said with the iPhone, and same with like the podcast, everything like that. You're going to continue to learn how to make it better. Exact same thing. But you've got to put yourself out there. You got to fail. And you got to post those first videos or the first vlogs. You know, no matter how cringe they are, you just got to put yourself out there.
Applies to everything.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I was terrified to post that. And I'm sure you were probably terrified. And I don't want to speak on behalf of you. But
I was, mate. Don't worry.
Like to post, like you've done it and you're like,
you look back at him and you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, but you kind of go, but dude, you'll probably even look back on this one day and think the exact same thing.
Yeah, true.
You know, and you just like, you just got to be in it to win it, man.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank you. Thanks for making the time. Like, I know you've come from, you didn't even come to Coogee. I was like, when did you come here last? You're like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I reckon at least, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
See, like to me, I have like so much respect for that. I gets in my head too much too, though. Because then every time someone comes from like anywhere, I'm just like, they've taken time out of their day. They've come all the way out. They're sharing all this. And I feel like so grateful for it. Yeah. And I was way worse at the beginning. I'm getting better, but I'm still like, did you have a good time? Was it good for you, man? Was it worth your time? Please?
Not really, man.
You're like, nah, bro.
No, but I think that comes back to you, man, and like how you presented yourself. Like you just cold called me basically on Instagram.
Oh yeah, how'd you like my approach? Did I do it right?
Yeah, it was cool.
Could have been better, but
but I feel like how you did it, and like your energy was sick. And then I had a look. I'm like, your videos are cool. I'm like, that dude seems like a vibe, and like he's passionate. And
awesome.
Man, I'm so conscious of being around people who are like passionate about what they're doing.
Yeah,
because I feel like if you're passionate about what you're doing, like, dude, you can't fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you obviously love what you do, and you obviously love this, and you love the content creation.
Yeah.
And that shows in like how you present yourself.
Awesome.
And it's like for me, I'm like, let's go have a chat. Like, let's go.
Sick.
Like, because I know I'm going to learn something, and I know I'm going to take heaps from it.
Yeah.
You know, even like how you were pitching to businesses. I'm like, that's sick. I'm like, I never did that. Like I did it, but in different ways. And I'm like, that was really cool to learn and hear about like how you do that. And I think so many people can take value from that. Be like, okay, yeah, my filming and that's probably great, but it's like maybe I'm not selling myself good enough. And by selling myself, I mean pitching correctly. Of course. You know, and by putting in that effort, it comes back to putting in effort. Like, are you willing to work harder than the next person? Are you willing to put a couple hours aside that night before that shoot to rock up and be like, hey, dude, check this out. This is who I am. And I'm really proud of it. And that's what I talk to the athletes about. I'm like, don't you want to talk to a brand and be like, check this out. Like, this is my this is me.
Yeah.
Like, you can be on this. You know what I mean? And it's the exact same thing with you. It's like, hey, check out my pitch deck. Like, we can work together and I can make you look this good.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, how good of like a vibe is that?
True.
You know what I mean? And like, you're putting your best foot forward. They're G'd up. Like, yeah, okay, this dude cares. You know, as opposed to being like, oh yeah, like I promise it'll be good. And you're like, well, really? You know, because then you're already on the back foot. You don't want to be on the back foot. You want to be on the front foot. Like, hey man, like I care about this.
You're right. And it is that. And it's like what you were talking about before in terms of like being productive and busy.
Yeah.
Right. And that's something that I've realized too recently is these things are important to put together. Like you're going to get so much more of a return by taking the time to put these things together.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, I'm a victim of this too, where I can easily be busy all day creating shit, like just filming. And at the end of the day, I'm like, man, I was so busy.
Yeah.
But what I've really done, if I was being honest with myself, is distracted myself from doing the work I need to do, putting together these templates and pitching to people because I know it's uncomfortable and it's maybe being in front of the camera, something I didn't really want to do today. But I can distract myself by just filming shit and doing the creative stuff that I love. But it's not always about that. Sometimes you have to make room, especially if you want to win in this game, to do these other things. And it is being productive and working hard are two completely different things, especially when it comes to that. And it is doing a course, not even doing a course, but taking the time to create these systems that probably isn't like the fun part that a lot of us sign up for. You know, we want to be riding dirt bikes and filming shit. But you have to, if
comes
you want,
at a cost.
Yeah, exactly. It comes at a cost, and if you want to do it well and succeed, and be in a position of the same as the people you aspire to be, they're putting in the time. That's like not riding a dirt bike and not filming cool shit. They're actually putting together and pitching and following up and trying to sell their, showing brands what they're worth. it's not flashy and it's not fun,
Yep.
but it's the things that get you over the line. And I
Yes.
think that's why conversations like this are important.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I just want to touch on something you mentioned that I think is so important, because you knew deep down what you should have been doing. That you should have been doing the templates, that you should have been pitching to other brands, but you weren't because you're distracting yourself. And everyone knows all the time what they should be doing. And I'm guilty for it as well.
Yeah.
Because I can easily distract myself doing 10 million other things.
Yes.
But it's like, I know at the back of my mind exactly what I need to be doing to be taking the next step forward to being as productive as possible.
Yes.
And I think it's really important to lean into that voice.
Yep.
You know, and that's why I actually recently got it's called a brick. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I heard they're mad.
Yes,
a
it's
guy in
awesome.
the gym was telling me about it.
Yeah,
So it's the best thing ever.
And dude, it is, because it's so crazy, man. The moment you brick your phone, which basically just like disables all social media, you can choose to disable whatever you want, but I just did all social media. And it's like, all right, dude, wake up in the morning and it's like disabled overnight. So I go to the gym in the morning, I can't get into social media. But the moment it's disabled, you don't even think about it. It's not even an option.
Yeah.
So you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
It's when it's an option, it just becomes a habit.
True.
You're like, oh, I'll just check. Oh, I'll just check. Oh, I'll just check.
So
Like,
true.
next minute, dude, that was 30 minutes. I'm like, what a waste of 30 minutes. And I'm like, I hate myself.
I've
right
fallen
now.
into that hole so many times, man.
Everyone does, man. And that's where, for me, like, I took the approach of like, okay, I need, like, I know I need that. So that's what I need to do to stay productive.
Yeah.
I need to go brick my phone. Dude, heck, I'll even leave my phone outside if I have to. Because, like, I'm not touching it. There is no phone call in the world right now that is more important than me actually getting some stuff done.
Yeah.
You know, unless obviously in a family emergency
Of
or whatever.
course.
But yeah, I just think it's really important to listen to that voice that's deep down that tells you what you should be doing.
Yeah.
And you got to do that.
Yeah.
Because then when you go onto social media, I'm like, all right, am I posting? Like, am I consuming or am I creating? Because I want to make sure I'm just creating.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm going to consume a little bit, but I don't want to be just consuming, because I think so many people just consume. I'm like, my job is to get my posts out there that I need to reply to some comments and some DMs and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So then I can get back to the
quicker
shit
you
that I
can
need
do
to.
it,
Yeah,
the better,
yeah,
right?
100%.
It's so hard.
Yeah, it is so hard.
I've fallen into that. And then at
We
the
all
end of the
have.
day, it's like, I've watched everyone else do the shit that I've wanted to do today, and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Especially on YouTube, man. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm big.
Well, be sure to like, subscribe, and share to my channel.
Totally, bro. Very good. Very good. I love, and as someone who like loves watching vlogs, and who's tried to do some of my own, I have so much respect for the people that actually do it and do it consistently, man.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah. Well, I hope you keep it up. I hope you keep it up.
Likewise.
I hope the course goes mad.
Thank you.
Honestly, because I think there's so much value there.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, massive respect. A lot of the things that you're doing are things that like I aspire to do one day as well. So being able to hear your stories and how you've been able to make it happen are really, really cool.
I think you are, dude. I think you are making it happen. Like,
Yeah.
look at the space you created here, you know what I mean? And like the relationships you've got with the gym here and the content you're creating. It's just like, dude, just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes it is that, right?
Yeah,
you just got to keep
100%.
going and not be so rushed, like thinking things
I know.
have to happen
Yeah,
immediately.
but that's just like comes back to comparison, because it's so easy to look on social media and see what other people are doing with their, like, and obviously you've got your studio too, but it's like, it's so easy to compare yourself and just be like, oh, I'm so far behind the eight ball. But it's like, yeah, but look back 12 months ago and how far you are now.
Yep.
You know,
It's so
you
true.
just got to have that balance.
So true. Thank you, my man.
Thank you, brother.
Legend. I'm getting better at the handshake. I gotta go over. I keep going under.